I am pretty speechless right now. Um, I paid off my student loans. That is the most remarkable feeling ever. I feel like a weight has been lifted. Some of you may have saw my tweet yesterday, maybe even my Facebook post because my Facebook is public. Um, by the way, the Facebook post is actually what inspired me to make this video. I'm hoping I can motivate a few of you that have student loan debt, or some of you that are young enough that don't have the debt yet, but will know, you'll have it in a few years or whatever. Just to give you a little backstory, I graduated college in 2008 with a bachelor's of science. Um, I racked up roughly, I think it was like $95,000. I didn't pay aggressively in the beginning, actually, quite some time. And because of that, I racked up interest. Now, without going too much into it, let me just tell you, like I said, if you did see my tweet or my Facebook post, I dropped roughly $96 or $97,000 on my loans in less than a year, 11 months to be exact. And today, I just finished the last bit, which was $9,087.10. Um, sorry, I'm like really in shock. It's a good thing. Like I'm very, very, very excited. Um, and the reason I wanted to make this video, as I said, the Facebook post that I did kind of motivated me to do it because a lot of people I care about, a lot of people I admire on my Facebook message me saying they were jealous, saying that they were excited, saying that they were, motivated to get rid of theirs. And, I'm not an expert, I'm not a loan expert, but what I can tell you is from my own personal experience is student loan debt can be one of the most stressful things ever. And the reason why is because, without getting too political or without getting too, in depth about the problems in specifically America, education, whatever, is, you go to college, you're told to go to college. It's good to go to college because you learn, but you leave college with no job. And in a way, I'm very proud to say I built my own job and I love it. Like, I love my job so much and I hope to do it the rest of my life. Um, so, in a way, it was kind of a blessing that I didn't get a job in my degree. And that's another story. But, people are graduating college with a ton of debt, criminal debt. And I say criminal because the interest rates are insane. And, you know, I basically said to myself, I'm not going to be in prison. And student loans feels like prison. It really does. Not to say I've been in prison, but you feel like you're trapped. And I refused. I refused to let Navient or, formerly Sally Mae. Some of you may know Sally Mae. Some of you may know Navient because they bought Sally Mae or something like that. I would refuse to have them control me and own me essentially. Now, I just want to say something before I get too. I don't want some of you to get upset, or some people are going to get upset with this video because they're in a way going to say, Joe, I don't have the money to pay it off, and that's fine. But I'm going to try to motivate you. Just bear with me for a second. Um, you know, I dropped 95, no, sorry, 96, $97,000 in about a year, or less than a year. And I get that that's a lot of money, and I get that not everyone's going to have that. That is completely fine. I'm not wealthy by any means. 2015 was one of the best years for Joe's Daily. I'm not going to tell you how much I made, but it was a very successful year. The difference between that being a successful year and not a successful year was that there was no difference. Of course, I made more money, but let me try to explain what I mean. Doesn't matter what I made every year. I told myself that I'm going to drop as much money as I physically can onto my student loans. And the reason I'm saying it like that is because I've made all sorts of different money in different jobs. I've made 20,000 a year, I've made 50,000 a year, I've made 80,000 a year, then I dropped down to 50,000 a year. I've made all sorts. And once again, the reason I'm bringing that up is because one of the excuses that I hear, and I used to do this too, so I'm not trying to call anyone out. But I used to make the excuse that I don't have the money right now. And what I don't think people understand is if you can drop as much money on your loans as soon as possible, I promise you it will pay off in the end. Because I see people all the time say, I don't have money to drop my loans. And then the next week I see them in Vegas, or going out to a very expensive restaurant. Now, I'm not saying don't treat yourself. Like, treat yourself. Because trust me, you'll go crazy if you don't. But I see people treat themselves way too much and then also like to complain about their student loan debt or their debts in general. And, you know, this may not work for you, like I said. And I'm not saying pay it off in a year like I did, because trust me, not everyone could do that, and I was very lucky. But if I could tell Joe from 2010, a couple years after graduating college, the amount of freedom I would feel as much as I do right now from not having student loan debt, I would have put every penny I had into paying my loans. And, you know, it's not even, like I said, it's not about paying within a year. It's about knowing you have a plan. And actually, that's the inspiration I want to try to give you guys. And this is something I've been living by the last few years, is constantly make plans, AKA goals. When you have a goal, whether it's for something, you know, a material item like a car, like a really cool car, or paying off your loans, or buying a house, or buying an engagement ring, or whatever, set yourself a goal. And the reason why is because if you don't, guess what? You're going to forget about it. And then all of a sudden, a moment of almost like depression is going to come up saying, oh, I really want to buy that car. But then you're going to say to yourself, wait a minute, I said I wanted to buy it a year ago, but I haven't even saved up $1. See, I think that's what people don't understand is in their head, they want something, but they don't say it and they don't repeat it. And in the last few years, I've kind of lived my life with the concept of repeating things and constantly having a conversation about it, whether it's about business or vacations I want to go on, whatever. And I'll tell you, my student loans is the perfect example of that. I told my mom, you know, I've always wanted to make my mom proud. And my mom is the one who I can give 110% credit for me going to college. My mom did everything she could, even though we were basically middle class in New Hampshire. If maybe below that. I don't know what you label it. But she did everything in her power to make us go. And you know what? I racked up debt because of it, but I don't blame her. Of course, it was her that got me to college and to California. And I thank her so much for that. And I always wanted to make her proud. And I told her my goal was by the age of 30, I was going to pay off my student loans. And I did it. I did it well before. I did it almost 6 months before. I turned 30 in July. And it's been the best few years. I've run my own business for 3 years now. It's crazy. Like, I feel like a weight has been lifted. So, I don't know. I just wanted to talk to the camera. I don't know if this is motivating you at all. I don't know if this is depressing anyone. I hope it wasn't depressing. The last thing I want to do is depress anyone. But I do want to say this. I'm here to help. I'm not an expert, but I love giving advice. Honestly, I'm very good at finances. I'm very good at business. I'm very good at money. This was the only debt I've ever had, and I got rid of it. So please leave comments, tweet at me. Specifically, tweeting is great because I can just, you know, have a conversation with you on Twitter, and it's just easy. I'm not always at my computer to respond on comments on YouTube, and sometimes the app doesn't work. So please leave comments, ask questions, and connect with me. You know, I try to talk to you guys as much as possible. And if you're a new subscriber, you know, or maybe you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button. I'm always creating content off and on, and I'm all over the web. So please ask me questions. I'd love to help you out. And if I don't respond right away, tweet at me, because that's usually the fastest way for me to respond, because I can do it from my phone very easily. All right, guys. I'm going to go pop a bottle of champagne right now. I am super excited. And I cannot wait to see what else is in store for me for the next couple years of Joe's Daily, and now that I'm debt-free, 100%. Talk to you guys soon. Peace. Maker Studios, full screen, stuff like that. Basically, they were created to essentially